last name for the record?
Brett Bindley, B-I-N-D-L-E-Y.
And what do you do for a living, sir?
Deputy Sheriff.
With who?
Carson City Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been a deputy sheriff with Carson City?
4 years.
And sir, were you assigned to be involved with a DUI checkpoint here in Sparks on December 18th, 2010?
I was.
And what was your role during the when the checkpoint was conducted? What was your role?
Initial screening, greeter.
And where were you located? Where were you positioned, rather, when you were greeting?
I was on Sparks Boulevard in front of, I believe the name of the park is Shadow Mountain or Shadow Meadows Park, in the number 1 northbound travel lane.
Okay, I never remember which is 1 and which is 2. So we're talking the inside lane or the
Inside
outside lane? Okay.
I believe it was the inside lane.
And do you recall coming into contact with anyone in the courtroom during the checkpoint?
I do.
And just like, what time were you involved in the checkpoint? What time of day was it?
I believe the briefing started about 7 p.m. and it ran. I don't recall the exact hours that it ran. It was sometime into the early morning hours.
And I'm sorry, I asked you if you had contacted anyone in the courtroom during the checkpoint. Could you please indicate that person and describe what they're wearing?
I had contact with this gentleman here, wearing the gray suit with the silver tie.
Your Honor, may the record reflect identification of the defendant?
So reflected.
No. Deputy Bindley, can you describe how you first came into contact with the defendant?
I was in a Toyota Tacoma silver truck. They approached my position in the greeting line. The driver of the vehicle stopped with his window up.
Okay. And what happened then?
During the checkpoint, we're to have a brief encounter with the driver, just a small discussion in regards to possession of driver's license. They have it, try to determine if they're under the influence of any drugs or alcohol through the window of the vehicle. The window of his vehicle was up.
Okay, so did you ask that anything be done?
I knocked on the glass after I put my hand up to have him stop. He did stop. I tapped on the glass on the driver's side window and asked him several times to roll the window down.
Okay, and did he roll his window down?
He did not.
At any time, was the window rolled down at all?
I would say after between a minute or two of trying to get his arm to roll down the window, by talking to him through the window, he rolled it down a very small amount.
Okay, and what do you mean by small amount?
I'd say no more than 3 inches.
And how many times prior to him rolling down the window, approximately 3 inches, did you ask him to roll the window down?
I'd estimate between 10 and 20 times, and that was just me.
And as you were asking him to roll the window down, what kind of clothing are you wearing?
Wearing my deputy sheriff uniform. It's a green shirt with a gold badge and gold nameplate, and tan pants with a green stripe, and my duty equipment.
Okay. And does that identify you as an officer?
Yes.
And when, how many times did you say prior to, I'm sorry, already after that, 10 to 20 times, how are you asking him to roll down the window?
Sir, can you roll down your window? Sir, will you roll down your window? You need to roll your window down. It gone from more of me asking him to telling him he needs to roll his window down so we can speak with him.
Okay. And how was he responding before he rolled down the window for you?
He kept asking me why. He refused to initially.
How did he refuse?
By not rolling the window down.
And was there any other things that he was saying?
I do remember him asking me and the other officers present several times under what law required him to roll the window down. He asked if he was free to leave. I said no.
Okay. And how long would you say all of this was taking?
I'd say it took, like I said, between 1 or 2 minutes for him to roll the window down just initially. The entire encounter until we were actually able to remove him from the vehicle, I'd say no more than 10 minutes.
Now, why were you asking him to roll the window down?
As part of the sobriety checkpoint, the job of the greeters is to have a brief verbal encounter with the driver to see if there are any clues of possible impairment.
Okay. And what clues were you looking for?
Clues that we're trained to look for are ones that are commonly associated with use of drugs or alcohol, such as the smell or odor of alcohol, red watery eyes, speech patterns, overall behavior. I don't know if I mentioned odors, any odors that might come from the vehicle.
What do you mean by overall behaviors?
Overall behavior is repetitive speech pattern, asking the same question over and over and over again, or making the same statement over and over again. Possibly euphoria, where they're kind of disassociated with what's going on, not really attentive or focused on what's going on right in front of them.
Okay. And so when you asked him to roll the window down, at that point, before he did you make note of any signs of impairment, drug or alcohol?
Based on the speech pattern, just the repetitiveness of his statements as to why do I have to roll my window down? Am I being detained? Am I being arrested? He asked the same question. After we'd answered the question once or twice, he'd continue to ask the question, number one. And then number two, I did notice red watery or bloodshot eyes through the window of the car.
Okay. Now, at that point, let me ask you, so you're instructed to ask the driver to roll the window down.
Yes.
Why do you do it, though? What's the purpose of it?
It's especially beneficial during like the cold seasons. The inside of the car is usually warm, the outside being cold. We're able to pick up any kind of odor of, any drug usage, any alcohol that the driver may have drank.
Okay. So are you saying you're trying to find drunken drug drivers?
Right.
Okay. That's what you're there for.
That's the purpose of the checkpoint.
Okay. So, at this point, you noticed red watery eyes and repetitive speech. What did you do at that point when he rolled the window down for you?
I was able to somewhat smell inside the vehicle, what little smell did come out, and I did notice some type of sweet, possibly fruity smell.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily identify it as alcohol, but it could have been.
Okay. What happened then?
We continued to talk. Officer Atkins and I was part of police. We continued to talk through the little opening in his vehicle. Officer Atkins explained that he needed to answer our questions. We needed to have the contact with him for the purpose of the checkpoint, for the sobriety. He wouldn't roll the window down any further. Wouldn't unlock the door. I do believe he turned the vehicle off when he was instructed, but he wouldn't allow us to have any more contact with him than that.
Okay. So how many times were you asking him to roll the window down after he granted you the 3 inches?
More than 10, and that was, like I said, just me. Other officers were also giving me instructions.
Okay. What other officers were present?
Officer Atkins primarily was the one on the driver's side with me. I was standing by the, not getting technical terms, the B post, which is the post behind the driver's side window. That's where I was standing, and Officer Atkins was at the A post, which is up by the windshield.
I'm sorry, say that again. Your post was where?
At the B post, which is, if you're sitting in the car, there's the part of the door right here on your left side near the back. That's where I was standing and talking to him. And Officer Atkins was up here at the A post, somewhere between the windshield and the driver door, but very close, right with me.
So, are you saying front corner panel or closer to the rearview mirror? I'm not clear on.
Oh, close to the side view mirror.
Okay.
On the left side, yeah, that's where Officer Atkins is at.
Gotcha.
It's right there.
Sorry. So was Officer Atkins there when you first made contact with the defendant?
He was on the grading line, I believe, one position in front of me. He was overhearing my conversation, and I believe once he heard that I was having some difficulty with rolling his window down, he came and joined me and joined in the dialogue to try to get him to comply.
Okay. And were there any other officers?
Yes.
And who were they? Where were they?
Officer Deal with the Reno Police Department, his partner, they were on the passenger side of the vehicle, and they had joined us as they discovered that I was having an issue not complying, and also Deputy Stetler from Carson City, my partner from Carson City.
And did he also arrive after your initial contact?
Yes, all those officers, it was just me and at first, and all those officers arrived shortly after.
Now, at some point, did it change from roll down your window to some other order?
Yes.
And what was the change? Why was there a change?
The limited clues that we were able to get at that point of possible impairment, him not complying with our instructions, and going from the DUI investigation to us taking him into custody for obstructing an officer.
Okay. And so what order was given to him once it was determined he was obstructing?
To open the door, unlock the door.
Okay, and did he comply with that?
Not initially.
Okay, explain that.
We'd asked him several times to unlock the door, and for us to open it, or him to open it, so we can remove the vehicle.
Okay, and what was his response to that?
Initially non-compliant by not unlocking the door.
Okay. Did he eventually unlock the door?
Yes.
Okay. How long, if you can estimate, did it take for him to open the door once he was asked to open the door?
I'd say, I'm estimating 2 to 5 minutes.
And so he did eventually open the door?
He did eventually unlock the door, yes.
Unlock the door. Okay. Who opened the door?
I did.
Okay. And what happened then?
Once the door was unlocked, I opened the door. Officer Atkins came around the door, so him and I were both in the opening of the doorway. Seatbelt was on. He started to turn towards his right side, towards the center console, and kind of lean his shoulders down like this. We went to control his body because he was reaching for an area of the car that we couldn't see. So, in fear of possible weapons or anything like that, we decided to take control and remove him from the vehicle. His seatbelt was on. I reached across his back to try to get to the door because he was also leaning forward. So I was reaching behind his back to try to undo the seatbelt. When I did that, Officer Atkins noticed there was a pistol magazine attached to his belt on his pants, and I also saw the back of a handgun.
Okay, you just made an indication with your hand to your waist, and since we're being recorded, that motion's not recorded. Could you describe where the magazine was observed?
I'd say on the back quarter near his kidney, on his belt, on the top of his pants.
On which side, left or
on
right?
His left side.
Okay, so visible to you outside the car?
Yes, once the car door was open and we were in there, it was visible to me.
Okay, and then, I'm sorry, then continue, what happened then?
As I went to reach for the seatbelt, I saw very distinctly what would look like the back or the magazine well of a firearm, a handgun, and I had recognized that. I yelled gun to notify my partners that he had a weapon, and I went to trap the weapon because I wasn't sure if he was trying to grab it, but he was leaning to that side and had his hands over there. So I was trying to grab it to trap the weapon in his holster so he couldn't draw it.
Okay, and then what happened?
Officer Deal was able to get into the passenger side door, and Officer Atkins, Deputy Stetler, were able to take control of his left side. Officer Deal took control of his right side. I was able to undo the seatbelt and remove the weapon from his holster and secure it by giving it to another deputy outside.
Okay. And so at the point that you yell gun and you're reaching to secure the weapon, are you issuing any orders to the defendant?
I don't recall specifically.
Okay.
I remember yelling gun, and then I remember just my sole focus was to trap the weapon in the holster so it couldn't come out.
Okay. And after you secured the weapon, what was the defendant doing?
We were trying to remove him from the vehicle, but he wasn't going with us or complying to come out of the vehicle.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
Remained seated in the vehicle, didn't try to step out. Resistant to us putting him in handcuffs.
Okay. And how was he resisting putting him in handcuffs?
Just by flexing his arms, strengthening his arms, not letting us put him behind his back, which is where we want to handcuff him at.
Okay. And were you issuing him any orders with regard to handcuffing him?
I don't recall specifically. I recall Officer Atkins giving him verbal instructions.
Okay. And then what happened? Were you able to get him in handcuffs?
The seatbelt the handgun was trapped once his hands were, the Officer Deal had his right arm, Officer Atkins, Deputy Stetler, had his left arm and shoulder. I removed the handgun from his holster. I gave it to another officer to secure it, and then we were able to bring his hands behind his back and secure him in handcuffs.
Okay. And then what happened?
We removed him from the vehicle.
And did you continue to have involvement with once he was removed from the vehicle?
I did. I don't remember specifically who, but myself and another officer, I believe it was Officer Atkins, escorted him to the mobile command post, which is in the parking lot adjacent to where the stop was at.
Okay. And then did you have any further contact with him there? I
sat with the command post along with other officers until a transport unit arrived and he was transported to fire.
Okay. And did you at that point issue any more orders or have any more dealings with there?
I don't believe so. I assisted with a pat search to see if any more weapons on him. I discovered some of his personal items and those were turned over to Sparks Police and the transport officer.
Okay. And was he cooperating with that?
Yes, he walked with us once we got him out of the vehicle in handcuffs. He walked on his own to the mobile command post under escort.
Thank you. I have nothing further.